Hey everybody, welcome back. Another comment, a show on common sense on common ground. And where I'm going with this today is I want to do my part in sharing the knowledge of the businesses here in the States and other parts of the world, but mostly here in the States, that are still doing business with Russia. It's March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. March 17th right now. And what I'm going to do is just throw in my, geopolitical 2 bits into this without doing any preaching. I just want to say, I acknowledge the crap that Russia is doing right now. And I honestly think that they're stupid for following Putin into war, whoever it is that's following him. This whole bizwax, I want to start with the obvious. This whole bizwax with Russia going to Ukraine to knock out the Nazism that's going on in the Ukraine, causing a harsh threat to Russian people and all this stuff. And ergo, it's the reason why Russia should just conquer Ukraine and unify the countries together in the name of, Russian heritage. Okay. There's a couple of ways to go with this, and I'm going to start with the obvious. Nazism. Under a Jewish president, that's, in a country that's being administered by a Jewish president, I honestly believe that if people believe this, then what we should actually be doing is supporting Ukraine in getting Israel help. And he's calling to the United States for aerial combat jets, fighter jets. Why doesn't he just go to Israel? Or ask the country of his heritage, of his origin, to supply some fighter jets. Since there's Nazism going on in the Ukraine. You see what I'm saying? Since supposed Nazis are running around killing people, including Russian citizens. I think we in the West should not only not be surprised, but we should just not stop a good, peaceful relation between the Ukraine and Israel, and let them grab the fighter jets and take that out. I don't see a problem with that. Yeah. And Russia's unification, they have to shut up with that crap. Okay? They're saying US and everybody in the West has no business messing with Russia, who just wants to unify Ukraine and Russia together in the name of unification, Slavic unification, Russia unification, whatever it is that they're saying. Okay, that unification BS is the crap that the CCP is trying to get away with. And it worked to a certain extent. They took over Hong Kong by force, and they tried to make the move onto Taiwan, which was not going to be permitted by the West. They've been causing a lot of problems in the Philippines, particularly not so much with the citizens, but with the fishing industry. Fishing and everything oceanic industry. Okay. This is CCP doing this kind of crap in the Philippines, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and any other place that they think that they can help themselves into claiming in the name of reunification. Okay. It was all China. Everything that was there was China before we let them separate, and they need to come back to us. Okay. That BS is stupid. Okay, because there's certain languages that come out of these locations that were their own languages to begin with. Ergo, those countries were not all China. Plain and simple. And the same thing goes over here with Russia, the current douchebags, the leaders of Russia, who are currently claiming we have no business being there in the name of unification, in the name of Russian unification. Okay, first off, we're not in there. We're just lending a helping hand to people that don't want unification, who want to be their own country. They want to live free. They don't want to live under some kind of oligarch ruling. Now, sanctions have been imposed and all this good stuff. Businesses have dropped ties with Russia. Well, not all businesses, because it turns out there's a list of companies. There's a list of companies that still do business with Russia. Who are these companies? Glad you asked, because it turns out this is where I step in to do my part in sharing the information with all of you. At the top, Abbott Labs. Abbott, and it's not the governor Abbott, it's actually an Abbott is a different it's a company. Abbott Labs. They're still doing business with Russia. Accor, the French operator of Fairmont Hotel, Banyan Tree, and Sofitel Hotels. Okay, Accor, Accor, Accor. The Hyatt hotels, they still got hotels over there. They're still running things. Marriott, they still got hotels. They're running things. Here's one thing, Amway. Okay, first, I didn't even know Amway was still a thing. For those of you who don't know, it's a business pretty much like Amazon before Amazon was created. You got these products that you order online and it's delivered to you, or order through, back in my day, it was through a catalog. You ordered through a catalog and it was delivered, within a week. There's 500 Russian employees that generates $200 million in Russia. So Amway is just flat out saying no to sanctions, and flat out saying no, we're not going to go elsewhere and all this other stuff. Amway is still doing business with Russia, as is Marriott, Hyatt Hotels, Sofitel, Banyan Tree, and Fairmont Hotels. Okay, Dunkin Donuts. Now that surprised me, and it's actually very disappointing. Dunkin Donuts, 21 franchises owned by Russians over there. Okay, 21 franchised owned by Russians over there. So there's quite a few of them. They're franchise owns, and they're raking in a lot of dough. Dunkin Donuts does not want to remove their stuff out there from there. Cargill. Okay, I had no idea what in the world Cargill was. It turns out it's a U.S. agricultural giant of a industry, of a company that will still supply Russia with food. It's estimated at $1.1 billion in revenue. So they're still going to feed them instead of just telling them to, feed themselves. Citigroup. Interesting. It's a good thing I don't have an account with them. Citigroup holds $9.8 billion in domestic and cross-border exposure to Russia. Okay, $9.8 billion a year. Citigroup. General Mills, another heartbreaking one, with a joint venture with Nestle called Cereal Partners Worldwide. It makes about $118 million in sales every year. General Mills. Halliburton, big surprise, 2% revenue is from Russia. That's $15.3 billion just in 2021 alone. So they make it somewhat around there every year. So, of course, Halliburton sees no reason, regardless of how much cruelty that they're committing towards Ukraine, to stop doing business for Russia. Here's one that tripped me out immensely. It just freaked me out altogether. Herbalife Nutrition. Herbalife Nutrition? Yeah, well, it turns out 2.7% revenue from Russia and Ukraine since 1995. 2.7 revenue. Okay, 44,000 active distributors. Okay, so there's a lot of jobs that can be lost through this. And a lot of jobs that Herbalife Nutrition just intends to keep. Coke Industries. Big surprise again. Coke Industries, who only owns Guardian Industries, operates 2 glass production plants, an electronics components maker named Molex. I've actually heard of them. Coke Glitz operates as Coke Engineering Solutions. They handle the sales in Moscow. Obviously, they're making so much money that they're not disclosing the cash that they make. So, sorry, I can't tell you how much. Leo Burnett, Chicago-based global advertising agency, has Rostel over in Russia. Rostel.com, a Russian digital service provider. Okay. So something in the technology area, which is alarming. It's alarming. Here's one that is not alarming, but it just still puts a frown on your face. Subway has 450 outlets in Russia. Subway, which is just it just puts a sad frown on your face, don't it? Cryptocurrency companies, Kraken. I've never heard of them, but they must be making really big pay, which is a shame that cryptocurrency, because there was talk about it in the news concerning cryptocurrency, that Russia might have to resort to that in order to stay financially afloat. For some oddball reason, and I'm assuming it's just got something to do with charging or overcharging or just having high bills in making this happen, sanctions against cryptocurrency. It's also possible that it's still just too difficult to trace, and it would be a waste of money trying to track down whoever's doing this currency exchange in the cryptocurrency world. But yeah, Kraken is one of them. Binance is also one of them, with the CEO Changpeng Zhao, who's saying we are not going to unilaterally freeze millions of innocent user accounters. Got it. Yeah, so you're just going to let all the crap keep going on, which is supporting a country that's terrorizing another country. Good. Nice. Binance, for the record. Binance cryptocurrency company. Kraken cryptocurrency company, who really didn't give a comment, but when they're no differently than Binance, standing against the opposition, standing against the sanctions opposition, the sanctions, then it's obvious he's speaking for them too. Coinbase, the most popular form of cryptocurrency, they're the ones with the ATMs and stuff already out there. Unfortunately, the CEO of Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, says ordinary Russians are using crypto as a lifeline, and many of them likely oppose what their country is doing. And a ban would hurt them too. Okay. Many of them likely oppose what their country is doing. Many of them likely oppose. So he's saying they probably are objectives. There's no doubt there's objectives. There's that guy that threw, the woman or whoever that threw that sign that says "Don't believe the propaganda" and all this stuff in a news building. Okay. Most of them likely oppose what their country is doing, but you can't tell who is opposing what Russia is doing and who is actually going along showing support for Russia. You can't prove that. And it's more than likely they're not going to. Claims it's taken the side of the other cryptocurrency companies such as Kraken, KuCoin, which sounds a lot like a KKK thing, and Coinberry. I don't know. I don't make up the words. Okay. So, we've got a pretty bad thing going on here with this list of businesses that are hurting the cause of keeping Ukraine from falling and Russia from taking over. So let's talk about a good side. Okay, let's talk about the flip side to this coin. Okay, let's talk about companies that are not doing business with Russia. You're gonna feel good after this, despite the fact that it's starting off strange. It's starting off very weird. Okay, starting with number one, McDonald's. McDonald's refuses to do business with Russia. Okay, that's strange, given the fact that here in the U.S. they took sides with Trump. So it's kind of, whoa, a mind-boggler there. Okay, Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, two soft drinks companies no longer having business in Russia. Papa John's, weird. Because Papa John's, I think, was the homosexual, homophobic or something like that. No, Papa John's was that nationalist crap, frowning at Colin Kaepernick for taking the knee during the what you call it. Yeah, Papa John's is just dumb. It's very strange, because they behave themselves like a socialist, going with what the flow says and spitting on Colin Kaepernick, but then stands up to actual socialists by not doing business in Russia. So you kind of got me on that one. Papa John's is just weird. Papa John's just doesn't make any sense. I don't think they do their studying, to be totally honest. Little Caesars, that's a shame. This is good, because they're under the list of not doing business with Russia. Ha! Little Caesars is not doing it. I love pita, and I am going to keep on eating it from there. BP, British Petroleum, they're no longer doing business with Russia. Woohoo! Equinor, that there is a Norway's biggest energy company, Equinor. Exxon is not doing business with Russia either. Big props go to Exxon for that. Shell Gas is not working with Russia anymore. So I think that's fantastic. Cars, planes industry, okay, not doing business with Russia anymore. Airbus, not bad. And Boeing, really not bad. They stopped buying parts and service support from Russia, which is what they were known for doing. Boeing suspended buying titanium from Russia. That says a lot, because titanium, light as aluminum, stronger than. To make planes with that stuff really makes sense. So to suspend buying of titanium from Russia, dude, that's a big move. And props go to these two airliners. Caterpillar suspended manufacturing out of their St. Petersburg site. Caterpillar, not bad. Daimler Truck, which is a German trucking company. Kudos. Get this. Ferrari. Ferrari is no longer doing business with Russia. Ford Motor Company is no longer doing business with Russia. Harley Davidson is not doing business with Russia. Mercedes-Benz is not doing business with Russia. Stellantis, I don't really know who that is, but Stellantis is an auto manufacturer with brands like Peugeot, and Citroën. Okay? Peugeot, which obviously is French, just like Stellantis, and Citroën. Okay? An auto manufacturer. No longer doing business with them. Oh, and they're in partnership with Mitsubishi. So, Renault, Toyota, Volkswagen, and Volvo, all of them not working with Russia. This is fantastic. They're not doing business with Russia. Consumer goods now. That was the cars and planes. This is now consumer goods. Okay. Adidas, Nike, and Puma no longer doing business with Russia. Airbnb, which is an online housing service. You go online for some people to clean your Airbnb. Budvar is a Czech beer, and they're no longer doing business with Russia. Carlsberg, no longer doing business with Russia. And here's a mind blower here. Disney is not doing business with Russia. Strange, right? Given the fact that the owners were anti-Semitic. They're no longer doing business with Russia for the sake of no longer doing any harm to the Jewish president of Ukraine. So, wow. Talk about times that have changed, huh? Disney is no longer doing business with Russia. Moving on, Estee Lauder, H&M, IKEA, and Richemont, which is a Swiss luxury goods maker, they're all dropping ties with Russia. Sony, right? Sony, because you had this list of these little organizations and stuff that were doing it, and then you got this big ginormous, which for the record, I'm not done. More companies that are not doing business with Russia. Okay? Sony Interactive, that's a tech group there. Swatch Group. Those of you who don't know, Swatch was a watch company. They're no longer doing business with Russia. TJX, which has here in the U.S. claims the U.S. chains, which is Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Home Goods, they're no longer doing business with Russia. And that was the last of the consumer goods. Moving on to manufacturers. Deere & Company, an equipment company. GE and Honeywell. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, so that's great. Moving on to another category. Musicians, venues, and promoters. AJR, which is an indie pop trio. They canceled their tours in Russia. They're not doing any Russian tours. Carnegie Hall, no longer supporting Russian whatevers. Nick Cave, he's a guy that has a band, Bad Seeds. Nick Cave, I hear he's good. I haven't heard it. I don't think I've heard it, but I'm more than like, I'm one of those guys that'll say that, but then I'll listen to the songs and I'll go, oh yeah, I know this one. So, Green Day, they're no longer doing performances in Russia. Health, which is a rock band. Live Nation, which is a live music company. Okay? They've dropped business with Russia. And that's pretty big too, because whenever you see any of those live acts in Russia, you're looking at these giant stadiums, and where, like, almost a full country goes straight to that one stadium. Live Nation is not doing any business with Russia, and I think that's awesome. Lewis Tomlinson, performer. It turns out he was formerly with a boy band called One Direction. So, good for you, guy. Youngblood. Yeah, you heard me. Youngblood. Youngblud. Youngblood. He's a rapper. He's no longer doing anything in tours. Wasn't that great? That was pretty good in the entertainment industry as well. Moving on to the next subject. Payment systems and accounting firms. These payment systems and accounting firms who have, you would not be surprised, unlike the stupid Coinbase and every other cryptocurrency, who says, well, no, there's a lot of people with a lot of our accounts up there. These guys, these payment systems and accounting firms, are saying to hell with that. There are companies that are not doing business with Russia. Deloitte, an accounting firm. Discover. Goldman Sachs. JP Morgan. Moody's, which is a credit rating company. PricewaterhouseCoopers, a multinational network. So you know that's gotta hurt. Visa, MasterCard, and American Express. Payment systems and accounting firms, man. These are the people that are not letting them make money so easily. These are the corporations that are not letting Russia make money so easily. Ain't that great? That is so awesome. Moving on to another category. I told you I wasn't done. Shippers. FedEx and UPS. They're cool. They cool. We're not doing any business to Russia. Not doing any business with Russia. They're keeping it over here, I guess. And maybe in Europe. Western Union, same thing. Western Union sends money, you wire money. To think that this company is not doing business with Russia just keeps a nice warm spot here in my heart. Just lets me know that everything's okay when it comes to the money and all this good stuff. That is fantastic. Moving on to the next category. Tech. Alphabet. Apple. Dell. Fortinet. Jupiter Networks. Meta. Netflix. Spotify. Trembler. TikTok. Dude, all of those industries are not doing business with Russia. I think that's fantastic. I think that is absolutely beautiful. Whew. I'm tired. But I'm happy. It's nice to see this kind of cooperation going on. It's nice to see how the ruble is failing. It's nice to see the problems that we do have, especially concerning cryptocurrency. And it's nice to see consumer goods not participating. It's nice to see tech not participating. It's nice to see shipping industry not participating. It's nice to see all these things take place. Excuse me. It's nice to see all these things take place because of it's very gray, and very gray makes me very sleepy. Because of the simple fact that all this time we're obviously thinking they're going to get away with it somehow. And maybe they might be able to get away with quite a bit of stuff. That being said, I'm hoping that it's not by far. You see what I'm saying? I'm hoping that it only gets them so far, and then they'll be hurting all over again. But that's just me. And that's what I wanted to bring to you guys here on Common Sense on Common Ground. with Chris's comments. I just wanted y'all to see what the information that I'm sharing, and hopefully you're sharing on your podcast. Some of you know who I'm talking about. You were riding in my car as I was you were rideshare riding in my car. You take this intel information, spread it through your podcasts, share it with your friends and all that good stuff, because it's just what we little lowly people do. We're just lowly little people amongst a big crowd there. Okay, so y'all have a good one. I want you to all keep staying safe out there. It's predicting that another wave of COVID patients is going to be taking place, another wave of infections. Who knows, really? It's still just a projection. And I also want to project mass shooting. There's going to be another one coming up, especially because it's not going to be close enough to an election year. You don't want that kind of bad publicity. You want to do it at a time where everybody's already forgotten about it. Ergo, everybody out here, watch yourselves, okay? Yeah, that's my prediction on that. My prediction on everything else is going to pan out. But right now, I just want y'all to stay safe, be careful, and watch out. Keep an open eye out for somebody that looks like he's ready to pull something out from underneath his jacket. And all that is figurative. Don't get me wrong. I mean it only figuratively speaking. So, I am really, really sleepy. I didn't get much sleep last night. Go figure. Hence the reason for all this yawning. But, yeah, just stay safe out there. And if you can, try to keep the money flowing through all these companies that are not doing business with Russia. And avoid doing anything with the ones that are. I know it sounds weird, but it is possible. On my phone, I kept a list of all the companies that was Trump supporters back in the day. You know, here in San Antonio, we got a barbecue franchise called Bill Miller's. You know, it was a very sad thing because it was a great way to get barbecue-style lunch during your lunch break. McDonald's at the time was also showing support for Trump. Burger King, IHOP, they were showing support. Church's Chicken was showing support for Trump. But as you remember, as I read it right now, McDonald's, Burger King, they're not showing any kind of support to Russia right now. So it's possible they're not doing it for Trump either. Who knows? Who knows? Right now, Trump is no longer in office. So he's not even a factor. Okay. Russia has there's businesses in Russia, and that can be a factor in, you know, shutting it down and forcing everybody to go home. You know, go home and don't make yourself a target or anything, and just, you know, wait it out. Wait until your country's leaders say, you know, say that they're not doing. Oh God, I lost track of what I was saying. Oh yeah, wait until your country's leaders reveal where they stand, and then support the businesses that support that business leader. Okay. So anyway, that's it. Y'all take care. Y'all take it easy. Stay safe out there. Stay safe. Stay safe. And we'll see you next time. Whew, I'm sleepy. We'll catch you later. I'm going to go find a place to get some caffeine. Have a good one.